All right, well, welcome everybody to Lake Superior Interfaith Community Church. I'm going to start with a little invocation that Carol has provided for me here. Thank you, Mother, Father, God, for bringing us all together. As we come together, we open our hearts in gratitude for the space, the opportunity for friendship, and our connection to Spirit. And with this, we say thank you. Blessings all. And welcome once again. I'd like to read our statement of intent real quick. We are fortunate to have a variety of speakers for Sunday services. By using guest speakers, we gain wisdom from all those who share. This is a church where we can worship the God of our own understanding, a place to experience joy and be uplifted, a place where we can gain strength and inspiration to share with all we meet throughout the week. We invite you to join us in this celebration of life, to nourish your spirit and to enjoy the company of kindred souls. And with speaking of kindred souls, let us greet our kindred souls. You can stand up and give a handshake, a hug, a hi, how are you? If you don't want to be hugged, have a seat, just stay seated and wave. And welcome everybody. Hi everybody. One more. All right. With our Hug Fest under control and don't sit down yet, we're going to sing a song. We're going to sing our opening hymn. If you don't know the words, they are on the white card in the pew in front of you. Our opening hymn is Let There Be Peace. Go for it, Carol. And what is our first hymn today? 109. 109 in Wings of Song. All righty. Okay, announcements. Number one, please turn your telephones off or put them on mute or do not disturb. Thank you very much. Don't forget, we do have a suggestion box in the back of the church, and you can put in suggestions for if you have an idea for a speaker, if you want somebody to come and do a meditation, if you want somebody to come and do a workshop or whatever. Also, ideas of other things that we can do around here. So you can also email us at Interfaith on 9th Street, 9, the number 9, TH, Street, @gmail.com. You can call us and leave a voicemail, or you can contact a board member. Give us ideas, suggestions, positive comments. All right. And next week is our Unity Week already. So it's going to be Reverend Pat is speaking, and Michael Monroe is the musician for part of the service. So one of our favorites, we need to get him back here. Yeah, so next week it's going to be a not a live stream, but it's going to be recorded. You can come here or you can watch it on YouTube later on. But yeah, it's going to be a great service. And if you missed or would like to rewatch one of our services, you can always check out YouTube. We have our services recorded, and they are, again, downloaded and put on YouTube a few days later. So check that out. Check out our website, our Facebook page, and our newsletter. We have all kinds of ways to stay in touch. The Unity Book Discussion Group, are you guys still meeting on Tuesday nights? All right, Tuesday night, 6 p.m. here or be square. And it doesn't matter if you've read the book or not, or if you're not, haven't started with the group with the new book. You're doing a new book, right?
Start this week, yep.
And what's the new book?
By Karen Noe, and it is
We Consciousness?
W-E, yep.
All right. By Karen, what's her name again?
Noe.
No way.
N-O-E with an
N-O-E with this, okay. And Karen No Way. Sounds good, yeah. So a new book starting, this is a perfect time to start and join the book group. All right. We have a fundraiser coming up, and it's the book sale. It's going to be on the 30th of October, which is the day before our annual meeting, which I'll get back to in just a minute. But donations can be brought in the Sunday before, which would be the 23rd. And so make sure that you bring in good, clean, fun books, no musty, no smelly books, no textbooks, no other things like that kind of stuff. And don't forget to come and join us for coffee later too. But Steve does have an announcement, and then.
I did with your announcement just now. That's the annual meeting.
Yep.
And the public book sale is the day before.
Right.
We want to include that for anyone who might come then rather than Sunday.
Oh. What? Yeah, the annual book sale is on the Saturday before the annual meeting.
For the world and Sunday for church.
Oh yeah, Sunday for church too. Steve, you have an announcement.
We've been showing the movie Thrive, and we're going to show part 2 next Sunday after the service. So if you want to join us at 12:30, we'll show that. It'll be the second half of it, and we have some handouts that cover like the summaries of the chapters and things like that. So if you want to know more about that, join us. that's leading into what Carol wants to say.
I'm going to add to that. Because Steve has also found us this book. This book is knocking my socks off. Oh, thank you, dear. This book is the one that Steve found for us for our book group, for Unity. For New Earth Study Group. This is a New Earth Study Group book, which we haven't gotten to yet because we realized that the Thrive films are a profound introduction to the big picture. And New Earth is a story that we are living right now on Earth that is about the big picture, the really big picture, and our history as a planet, and our history as humanity. So I'm only through the first chapter for finish, and then I'm reading in little bits, but it's very strong message, very clear, and there's lots of space on the page because it's channeled. The first chapter that I really actually read is filled with writing by me, and I can't recommend it enough. And if it's on Amazon, and I'll have my copy downstairs, you can look at it, and on Amazon, you know how Amazon will do with books, they'll give you a chance to read some of the beginning. And so there's a whole chunk of this book on Amazon for free, the introduction, and that's already very powerful. So after we finish the Thrives, then, well, Steve's our leader. Where's our leader is here. Okay, but I think then we're going to start talking about this. And I boldly propose that every single member of our congregation, of our community, get this book. And we might even, Steve doesn't know this part yet. We might even do some book group type stuff in services sometimes because it's so important. And so that's my contribution.
She is a force. Yes, I follow Carolyn. All right, so speaking of the annual meeting, that is on the 31st. I thought the 31st was Sunday. I'm not sure. I can't remember. The last Sunday of October. The book sale is Saturday for the general public, Sunday for us, and the after the annual meeting, of course. The annual meeting is very important. We have some things that we need to discuss. There are certain things that we want to discuss about the bylaws, and we have to have congregation vote on any changes to the bylaws. So first of all, if you want to be part of that, you got to become a member. Become a member. All you have to do is fill out a card or a form. We are going to probably make a larger form this year instead of a little bitty piece of paper that nobody can read. So let's get a nice big form, and then we'll have that ready for you to fill out. You can also put down preferences. You can also fill out your attributes and anything you want to share and donate to our, your personality. Like if you want to become a person who does some healing meditations. So those kinds of things are going to be on there. Carol?
The forms are on the table.
They are right on there are a bunch of them on the table.
Reminder, you have to renew every year.
Right. I'm getting there. You guys are way ahead of me. Yeah, so if you want to become a member, or if you are a member and have not renewed your membership, you have to fill out the form. I know we do this every year, but every year things change a little bit. Maybe you've changed your phone number. Maybe you've changed your address. Maybe you've changed what you want to do for the church. So fill out the form, donation of your choice. At this point, it can be $5, it can be $500, it can be $5 million. Come on, ladies and gents, let's get this church going. So make sure that if you want to be part of the annual meeting and make some decisions, you need to fill out that form, and we need to have a little donation from you. And that means you get to vote on whatever we are doing. at the annual meeting, which includes board elections. All right, ladies and gents, this is the time now to soul search. Go down deep in your soul and see if you would like to become a member of the board. We need to have people who are eager to help us move forward into the next generation. Carolyn and Steve have got this new group going. We've got our book group going. We've got some unity things happening in this church. We've got all kinds of things moving so we can help more people find us. I know there are people that are like us out there. So help them find their way here and help them find a way to help us regenerate and rejuvenate. So you have to pick that form up, fill it out, do your donations, be ready to vote, and volunteer for the board. Thank you very much. All right, so let's move on.
I was talking to Carol, our president, and she was saying that on the first Sunday of October, there was no speaker. And I said, oh, that's great. Maybe we could have a community meeting that day to discuss the kinds of changes that people could contemplate for the month before we get to the annual meeting, so that we're not in suddenness. And so my job is to write an email to the board, and I didn't get it done. But we can still get a feel from you all right now that are here as our community. Are you opposed to having a community meeting? Well, let's say, are you for having a community meeting on that first Sunday to discuss the options we're facing?
That looks like a yes.
Okay, it looks like a yes here. And yeah, and we've been having more community meetings since COVID, and since we've sort of entered this new phase. So I think we're sort of loosely imagining that that's happening. So you can, and I want to say, I don't think it needs to be a secret. We've had 7 members on our board for, I don't know, a while, for 2 years. And within 3 days, I was told very firmly by some of the most authoritative voices I know. One was Rev, through our visiting Robert Beal, who came and channeled a bunch of stuff for us. And I was having a private session with him, and Rev came through and said, 5, step 5, 7 is too many. Then the pro bono strategist who's working for us, the guy in Portland, who's actually a global strategist and has turned out to be my good friend because we share spiritual teachers, he said, 5, never more than 5. You can go 5 or 7, but 5's always better. He always gets the groups he works with, the businesses, the organizations, to do 5 because it's a more nimble number. So we're maybe not going to meet. We don't know. We have question marks on the people returning to the board. For sure, Sue and I are. I have another year left on my term. You have none. She's going to do it for us again, and she's the most awesome secretary we could have. So there's 3 question marks. Lisa, Denise, Jasmine. We don't know. But still be thinking, okay? But we could be a well-oiled team going forward together with all of you more involved than we keep upping the bar a little bit with ways you can engage and that we engage with you, because that's what it's time to do on the planet. So still be thinking, but also be aware of that big picture. Does that make sense? Okay.
All right. So with that in mind, one last thing. We do have our prayer bowl on the piano, or on the organ, sorry. I can't get my arm straight. If you have not put in a prayer request physically, you can always put in a prayer request mentally. And we do pray over the people who need things healed, cured, helped, moving through. If you want to put something in there mentally, now is the time to do that. And do we have any prayer requests physically right now? Pearson? Garvey, Kate Garvey.
Yes, I mean, she was in an accident and has been burned over a third of her body. And she's no longer in this community, but she was a part of our community for a number of years. So let's add her to our prayer bowl for sure. What are your thoughts when we meditate?
Oh, definitely, definitely. So, prayers for Kate Garvey. Yeah, I read her Facebook post and it was like unbelievable. My heart went out immediately. So, besides all the other wonderful things we need to pray for, Kate should be deep in our prayers here. And with that, I think it is time to read the principles. So, the little white paste paper in the pew in front of you, these are the 5 basic unity principles, short and sweet. So, let's see. Number 1, God is the source and creator of all. There is no other enduring power. God is good and present everywhere. We are spiritual beings created in God's image. The Spirit of God lives within each person. Therefore, all people are inherently good. We create our life experiences through our way of thinking. There is power in affirmative prayer, which we believe increases our awareness of God. Knowledge of these spiritual principles is not enough. We must live them. And now we're going to sing hymn number 74 in the silence in Wings of Song. And then our lovely Chuck will take over from there.
Hello, everybody. So as you're sitting, or you find yourself sitting, get as comfortable as you can in this moment. Take a nice deep breath. Fill your belly, fill your lungs, and then let it out. Take another breath in. Fill your lungs, fill your belly. Allow peace to flow into your body. Breathe out. And let all the stress, all that's been bothering you today, to flow out with the breath. Another breath in. Fill yourself with calm. Fill yourself with peace. Breathe out. Release all the anxiety that you have. Any worries that you have, go out with the breath. Relax yourself deeply as you sit there. Breathe calmly, peacefully in and out. Allow yourself just to be as you sit there. Allow yourself to feel the you of you that lies just in the background, waiting to move forward into your experience. Go deeper and deeper into your relaxation. Let go of all of the things that you hang on to during the day. The relaxation becomes deeper. You feel yourself let go of so many of the things that you typically hang on to as you move deeper and deeper into relaxation. As you relax deeply, there's a natural energy, a natural benefit in this place that flows into your physical being and helps you to thrive. Deeper and deeper you move into relaxation. You allow the energy that is you to move you deeper and deeper. From this place, there is an aspect of consciousness that you're moving towards that's been called, depending on the discipline, the cave of Brahma or the mountain of the moon. This area of consciousness is beyond time, beyond space. It is of you. Move towards this space, and as you find yourself within this space, it is immense, with no boundaries that you can seem to sense around you. From this place, all of the ideas, all of the energy that flows into your experience here has its beginning. All of this energy, all the benefit that is derived from this spot is freely yours to be had. All it requires is your allowance, your openness to allow all the possibilities of who and what you are to flow into this you, to express themselves through this physically seeming you in this moment. this place, the depth of your relaxation continues as you reach out and become one with the infiniteness of consciousness. Rest here for just a moment. Feel the unlimited possibilities that surround and flow through you. This place is accessible in your dream states, through remote viewing, out-of-body states, meditation, even deep reverie. It's there for you to access. It is always a part of you, always with you. You begin to move back to the you that you know yourself to be as a physical being. And as you settle into once again focusing on yourself as the body, there is an awareness that has come with you, a knowingness that there is a place deep within you, an infinite well of energy, of ideas, of compassion, of love, of potentials that is with you always. All you need to is allow its presence in your life. And it will step forward and fill that space of allowance. Once again, focus yourself into this now, into the physical body as it sits within this church. Take a deep breath, move your fingers, move your toes, refocus yourself back in this moment. So a little bit of an enigmatic title for today's sharing. Is a spiritual exploration worth your time? Is it necessary? And to begin, I'm going to say both yes and no. And I'll talk about why I say both. First, let's go with the no. Why is a spiritual exploration not worth your time? Not necessary in your life? And the answer is probably going to be surprising, maybe. And it's for this reason. So, of course, as we live our lives, what we are so used to doing is moving towards something. In essence, as we live our lives, becoming something, being involved in a process, whether it's the growth of our body as we're born, we move through 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, 10 years, whether it's school, you're in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, there's this process where you are becoming more of what you were. You are moving towards being something that you weren't before that time. It's the same thing with a job. You enter into a job, you don't know much about the job. You become familiar with the job, you're filled with more knowledge, you're filled with more wisdom, You have skills that you didn't have before. You have become something that you weren't. We are so very used to that, of course, as part of the process here. I'm going to suggest, however, that when it comes to who and what you actually are, there is no need to become that, because you are already that. Yes, you are exploring different facets of what that you is, but you have always been self. You have always been soul. You have always been all that is. You have always been the universe, whatever term you would like to use. You have always been that. You are that now, and you will be that when you are no longer here doing this. In that context, many, many, many individuals throughout what we consider to be history have never paid any attention to spiritual exploration. However, the same process happens to them. Of course, there's a variety in the process, and I speak of transition. When you decide to leave this experience, there is, of course, a transition experience that you'll go to where you will leave your ideas of this type of existence behind, and you will gradually, in terms of what we consider to be time, once again be familiar with the unending, unlimited you that you actually are. It happens to everybody. Regardless of what you do here, it will happen. You will know what you are once you leave this experience. So in that context, it makes no difference what you do here for a spiritual exploration. That will be the outcome that you will have. Now, does a spiritual exploration while you're here benefit your existence? I believe it does. Certainly it has mine. When you become increasingly familiar with the you that you are, the wisdom and the knowledge that lies within that you begins to flow into this aspect of you and then allows you to change your life in association with that knowledge and wisdom. You leave behind the fear of life. You leave behind the anxiety that you once felt in life. You leave behind the questioning that you might have had in life. You become certain in life. You understand the way that the choices that you make are influencing consciousness. And through that, your life becomes what it is. You understand that there are ways in which consciousness functions in association with this particular physical reality. It is an exploration that has so much to offer, the more deeply that you get into it. But it can be a difficult journey many times because we have very strong ideas about what is true about existence. And that's always been true, of course. But there are ways to allow that information to show up, ways that all of us are familiar with. And really, it's up to each individual to decide how deeply they want to do that. And again, it's your choice. There is no potential way that anybody on the planet can be more spiritual than you are, because we're all that. No Lama in Tibet, no Buddhist master, no shaman in South America, whoever it might happen to be. We have ideas of levels. There are no levels. It's not possible. You're only having a different experience here. So it's up to you what you want to do with your life. It's up to you what type of depth you want to put into your exploration. I'll suggest to you, however, that if you put the effort in, if the desire is there, it will bring sweeping changes to your life. There's so much that you can walk past with that understanding at your fingertips. There's so much you can leave behind. The anxiety, you know, there is an idea in especially Eastern philosophies of attachment. The things that you're attached to that you have to let go of. Attachment to having a house, attachment to having a car, attachment to certain clothes, whatever. Those, I will suggest to you, are not the real attachments that you should be moving beyond. What is helpful to move beyond is your attachment to fear, your attachment to worry, your attachment to self-judgmentalism, your attachment to those types of emotional and psychological things. Those are the attachments that moving beyond are truly beneficial in your life. When individuals run into somebody who's gone very deeply into this exploration, one of the things those individuals almost always attempt to convey to somebody is that all this judgment that you place on yourself is totally unfounded. There's no reason to do any of that. Now, the world around us doesn't seem to suggest that, of course, which is what this exploration can help enlighten you about. You are incredible. The ability that you have is beyond any awareness that you can possibly have as you sit here expressing yourself physically right now. You can do in this world whatever it is you want to do. It's your ideas and your beliefs and the concepts that you hold. Otherwise, that prevents you from doing that. And that's all that prevents you from doing that. Nobody outside of you can prevent you from having the kind of existence that you want to have unless you let them do that. Doesn't mean you have to push against them or you have to choose what you want to do. And what will happen is consciousness, the universe, will lean in your direction. The more comfortable you are with picking your direction and moving in that direction, the more your surroundings will support that for you. Now, will there still be some bumps? Sure, because there's ideas and concepts that are still inhibiting you that you have to learn to move beyond. It can be a difficult process. Many of us here, all of us here, are over 50 years of age. We've had a lot of years of conditioning, quote unquote, ideas and concepts that we become very used to that tell us a different story. So it's a concerted thing to do. You have to put a little effort into it. The effort will pay off, but the effort's not necessary. If you're content with what your life is now, there's nothing wrong with that. That is absolutely fine. Once you leave here, you again will know yourself as the unlimited you that you are. There can be some benefits, but again, it doesn't make a lot of difference. A heightened awareness here can make the transition period faster, but again, it really doesn't make any difference. Many people, as Jerry is aware, and some others, and you see it around you, they begin transition while they're still here. Many people do that. We call it Alzheimer's, or other things like that, because we believe that perception should happen in a particular way, and when it starts to happen in a different way, we can't figure it out. We have really no idea of all the different dimensions that surround us, and all the different ways that perception happens in those dimensions. And as someone begins to let go of the strong hold they have on this way of perceiving, and they start to broaden out their understanding of things. Their language changes, their memory changes, many things change, and it's very confusing to the people that are here that thinks that it should happen in a particular way. So many times people begin transition while they're here, before they leave their body. It makes it easier for the transition between physical and non-physical to take place. The deeper us doesn't make any mistakes. The deeper you, because you're an extension of that you know yourself. You know yourself better than anybody else knows you. That you knows you better than this you knows you. And it'll bring you opportunities to move beyond the things that limit you, if you see them as opportunities, which can be difficult sometimes. There's always the opportunity to embrace the limitless nature of your own choice, the ability to choose, because actually you're doing it every moment of your life. You are choosing moment after moment after moment. You're choosing how you feel about yourself. You're choosing how you think and feel about others in relation to how you feel about yourself continually, all the time. And there's a very conditioned thing to do. So, thus my title, is it necessary to explore spirituality? Really, technically, no, it's not. You are that. You don't need to become it. You will once again know who and what you are when you're done with this. But it can be a very confusing life without that understanding to help to clear the air. And the more that understanding that you come to, the more that air will be cleared. You can do it through meditation. You can do it through dream states, especially lucid dreaming. You can do it through out-of-body stuff. There's so many different ways that you can do it. Just even daydreaming, reverie. There's so many ways that we can let go of how we believe our perception should be working and allow other things to show up for us and then to follow those. And it takes that, if that's what you want to do, it takes acting on the things that show up for you. Now again, do you need to? No, if you're comfortable in what you're doing, that's great. Just live the life that you want to live, express yourself the way that you want to express yourself. There is no right or wrong in this, ever. There cannot be right or wrong in this. Uniqueness of expression as an unlimited being is part of what you are about. It doesn't matter how you express yourself. This is something in this shift of ours, I'll suggest that we are all, sometimes in very challenging ways, becoming increasingly familiar with. The innate ability of each individual to be uniquely themselves, to express their existence the way they choose to express their existence. This is the hallmark of self, uniqueness. There is no duplication in creation, any place. So embrace the unique you that you are. There's nobody out there like you. It's meant to be that way. You are meant to express yourself in whatever way you want to express yourself. And so is everybody else. It's meant to be collaborative in that way. If we allow it, it will work collaboratively in that way. Trust yourself, trust your choices, trust your decisions, trust your intuition, trust your impressions, trust the things that show up to you in feelings, trust your dreams, ask for understanding. Any moment during the day that you want to, you're being listened to all the time. All you have to do is ask. and the help will show up. Clarity will somehow show up for you. You're never alone. We walked this road together for a number of years, all of us here. In many different venues, we've explored many different things. Utilize it in whatever way it best suits you. Be happy in your life. Try to find some joy in the years that you have here. There's really no reason not to. Explore life in whatever way you want to explore life. Attempt to give yourself the gift of choice. Thanks, guys.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Chuck, I can't tell you some of the things that you've said to me this morning, or us this morning, have really brought me into some other place that made me feel like, oh, I can let go of that. I can let go of that. I can let go of that. Oh. I have to watch this again because I have to hear this again. Thank you so much. At this time, can I have somebody or two people bring forward the baskets for the offering? Thank you. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you. All right, do we got a hymn for this one?
We do.
All right,
241.
481.
I don't want to lecture, but I do want to throw out the thought. You could be singing this to God. We could be singing it to one another. We could be singing it to ourselves. Any or all of those.
481.
What's the number?
241.
Oh, 241.
41.
Thank you.
That was a good one. Yeah. I started crying. All right. All right, so the church affirmation. If you want to read with me, it's on the white card. We totally accept the belief that God is in charge of the affairs and direction of Lake Superior Interfaith Community Church. We know that as our thoughts of trust and joyful anticipation join in harmony with the thoughts of all the members of this fellowship, we attract the right ministerial leadership to our spiritual community. And what are we? We are grateful. Yay, all right. So with that, I'll just say the quick unity blessing. If I have, Paul, what's that? The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Let's gather in our circle for our final song.
Oh, no blessing?
We did.
Oh, all right.
Light of God surrounds us. Did I do that right?
Yep.